Hey friends, welcome to Bars and Puzzles Soul Exchange video. May 25 is when Soul Exchange arrives, and a big thank you to Berks G for making this particular chart of all the heroes that are going to be available. It's still allegedly in this Soul Exchange because still the last moment when they pop up on the screen, some change can happen, but not all are going to change. Having said that, we have the three tiers. And again, Berks G, big thank you. I think this is the third Soul Exchange where I'm using his chart. There are a few others roaming out there, but this is the best prepared and best looking chart. And plus, it's in English, which is the language that most of my viewers speak or relate to. Okay, so let's quickly dive in. We have got tier of 10. And let's look at the hero. It's White Star. White Star is part of the astral family. We know what the family does. I'm not going to go threadbare into the heroes. I'll just say, a few lines that make sense for me. So White Star is a great catch in this whole 15 hero list. Why? Well, one is the first portion of the special. This special skill never misses its target. Useful. Deals 620% damage to the target. Useful. Heals all allies for 40% of the damage done. Useful. All allies get plus 74% defense against special skills for 4 turns. Useful. Average speed, so functionally can be made fast. And when you look at the stats, they don't look so terrible. They're at least 200 numbers high compared to the ones that you're going to see now. So Void Star is a great catch at 10 heroes and has got my attention for sure. Moving forward, we have the slow speed Lunar Healer who does heal. Then there is a penalty if the healing buff is taken away with a higher heal. And then there is this mana buff that is of straight addition of mana. But then he's slow speed, which means his going to be used less. But he is irritating, and I have faced him a few times. Cardinal Rishelu. Now, when he arrived a few years back, was useful because of the impact all damage, plus the musketeer bonus, the passive, then the fiends, and what the fiend does in terms of stealing dispellable buffs. But you look at the stats, terribly low. Not worth it. Milady Dea, again, even lower stats than the Cardinal, was super cool, even though slow speed when she arrived because of the impact all. And she's doing a lot of stuff. The damage, she heals herself, then the enemies reflect dispellable buffs that they get to the opposite side. So the benefit is gone. And the ailments that the enemies give is reflected back to them. So that's great special. However, the stats. So if you're going to aim for these older heroes with lower stats, it's mandatory to ensure that they get the LB2 and 25 emblems to have some semblance to survive to provide whatever they're providing. Teddy, the green fellow of the bear family, puts you to sleep. Your damage, the sleeping fellows, first of all, impact all. So all enemies fall asleep and they get whacked harder. They don't get mana. And then the allies generate health. And the sleeping one gets woken when taking a damage, except the damage from minions and fiends. So yeah, I've faced him. I think 1 or 2 times he frustrated me because of that sleeping aspect. You have to carry a cleanser because you line up all minion heavy, at least a couple of minion heavy fellows. It's just the poke that you're dealing with, which can wake specific heroes because all heroes are sleeping, which means you need 5 fellows getting hit in some kind of a way. So yes, he can become irritating. Aramus, we move to the next tier, which is the tier of 15. Aramus, I still use him. I have an LB1 and another one which is at 20 emblems. Useful hero because he causes damage, boosts health of allies, but the problem is his damage has reduced, which means the boosted health that he generates has also gone down because the enemies are much stronger and he has become dated. So clearly will require LB2 and 25. His another claim to fame is all allies are immune to new status ailments, which is undispellable. Really useful hero and could be a catch for quite a few because a boosted health, damager, and ailment preventer, all three excellent. I will leave the family bonus and the passive because they are fantastic for the musketeers in terms of allies benefiting from them. We move to the masked god family chick, Janna or Yana, depends on which part of the world you're in. Well, when she came, she was absolutely a great catch. 470 damage with a defense down, and then another random. So that's to the target, another random enemy, different enemy, but random but a different enemy gets 470 damage, and gets minus 44 mana gen. Brilliant, but dated. I really wanted her then. Today, Thorbin. He's the guy that gives an ailment to a specific fellows, and all the allies' damage is pounded onto that ailment owning enemy. So, of course, and plus being a fighter, ability to revive. So, all those things are fantastic. Fast speed fellow, gives defense down, and of course, impact 3 damage. If you look at it, the stats are a little better than other fellows, about 150 numbers higher. Food for thought. Fortuna, another masked family chick. When she came, her only claim to fame was dispels first, then does whatever she does. And the damage is not even a poke. And that fiend gives minus 36% attack down. Irrelevant in today's times, despite her being fast speed, impact all. Nope. Smarttongue, great catch in this particular tier. I still use her, and I have been seriously contemplating completing a second one. The only issue is those stats are dated, but the special is fantastic. Part of the Goblin family, so the Goblin family bonus is fantastic. That passive is freaking irritating because even though that accuracy ailment percentage is low, they basically hammer it almost 8 out of 10 times or 9 out of 10 times. So Goblin Serenade, Wither, all enemies get minus 250 attack. Very useful for survival. Then reduces max health of all enemies by 600. Otherwise, your ass is going to be kicked by the family bonus if you're taking boosted health fellows. So you get a double whammy, and that minus 45% defense against special skill is excellent. So Smarttongue, really cool hero. So that's the tier done of 15. We move to the tier of 20. Anubis costume. You can see the line of passives over there, family bonus, and the 2 swords, which is fighter class, that means a reviver. Now, this fellow can become irritating, and because he has a costume, his stats are going to be a little better with the help of that costume bonus. However, no. Of course, I have had a few times when Anubis has shut my Gazelle, which means Gazelle's benefit is not available to the allies, but that's a one in a time situation. Would you give 20 heroes to acquire this one? No freaking way. So, for heaven's sake, avoid that. Because there are other better options. That 693 poison, when you give LB2 and 25, that is going to go almost close to double. Minus 28% defense to all allies for 3 turns is useful. Next hero, the Holy Maggy. She is a great catch in this particular tier of 20. You can see the stats. They are not terribly low, and I have one completed with 20 emblems. I am waiting to give her LB1 so I can use her more because of that average speed, which means she charges fast and does a lot of things. Passives are useful and helpful. And when you look at it, the Deceptive Small Talk at average speed helps massive 60% heal, cleanses latest state ailment from all allies, and gives it to a random enemy on the opposite side, which is fantastic. Then all active status ailments are uncleansable for all enemies for the remaining turns, and of course gives that buff of 60% defense to all allies. So very useful healer and a support hero. Mad Hammer, angry goblin, family bonus, and that irritating passive comes in handy. Average speed, heedless hammer flurry. The stats, the numbers are low, but not as low as some of the fellows being offered. Still will require all the love and resources. 500 percent damage to the target, and has a 50% chance to deal 450% damage to a random, and remember, different enemy, which means two fellows are, one is sure whack, second one 50% chance to get a whack. That black boar minion at 52% HP is very beefy, so doesn't die fast, but the balance has been brought in by a lower attack percentage. And of course, status ailments don't get cleansed or reallocated by special skills. This is useful and helpful. Guardian Hippo, way beyond the prime. So unless you're planning to give all resources to this dated hero, because you can see the numbers right there, very, very low. And the second part is, if you have a team that goes, because Guardian Hippo without a stack of the blue or the ice element team will in today's times not be such a crazy benefit. I'm being very straightforward. I have got cinnamon, then so basically I have got Guardian Hippo, then I've got an elemental defense down, I've got a defense down, I have got buffing by Nautica, then I have got basically I take him on a mono team. You've seen in my war videos. So you need to have a good lineup of a blue, and then you could actually consider Guardian Hippo. However, this last one is going to be the one that most are going to pick up. Why? Ferris Dodger, part of the Construct family, and is one of the top heroes. When he arrived, he basically grabbed full attention and the space, and today also he is painful. I use him in every war. You have seen it in my war videos. You can just check, do a quick check, almost one of the early teams. And even though those stats are low, mine is at LB1. I am thinking about providing LB2, or maybe I have given LB2. I don't know. But brilliant hero, impact 3 in terms of the damage. That bleed damage really helps. Then that corrosive passive poison really helps. And then he also gives the ailment of minus 13% mana reduction. So slows down the enemies. That all combines. And the last portion, which is minus 60% defense against nature for 3 turns. That is really high and fantastic. I use him along with Evelyn, who provides a cleanse also. So Ferris is a great hero to go with a green team. And he is causing mayhem in many ways, apart from the elemental defense down that he gives. Who are you going to decide? You can start thinking about it. I'll make some videos to showcase what's going on with these fellows. I have some of them, and I am looking at 2 options over here, and that's where I am. Yes, one option, I would like to clear up some space, and another option is a useful hero for gameplay. So there are 2 heroes that have my attention, and I'm keenly looking at that. You can keep guessing who those fellows are. Good luck making your decision, and on Soul Exchange Day, see you having a conversation of each of them and the benefits threadbare. Cheers. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next video.